All right, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Temple. I'll be your host this evening. Welcome to IQ versus AndyPerfect Elimination round. Winner of this race moves on to face Ori. The loser, the tournament is over. Let's get this thing going. Seems like the runners are ready. Let's get the prediction. As we start here. 20 minutes seems good. Yeah, no problem. My pleasure. I enjoy doing it. Especially when it's this caliber of racers. Alright, we should be starting in a moment here. There's a little bit of a delay. As you can see above, the special flag for this week is enemies are all diamonds. And I've done one of these, well, a couple times before, but recently, and it's pretty tough. There's not too many upsides to all diamonds. Oh, Andy setting an exit mouse early, nice for that skip. I believe it was a wet towel. Looks like an early department store here. Probably stock up on some skip items. It's the probably the main objective anytime you hit this early. Looks like we do indeed have diamonds. So that's good. Flag set is good. I tested the seed. I didn't see a single spawn in about the 5 minutes I ran through floor 1. So good to see. We have confirmation of all diamonds. I didn't see what Andy scored over there. I guess we'll see what IQ grabs. Nothing. Doesn't look like much for skip items here. Oh, we got a skip sandwich. Nice. Not too bad. Sell a spray can. A classic move. Even if it's not fixed, it's still worth some money. It's like 80, 90 bucks. Always good to take a couple early fights here in Ancient Cave. Gotta catch some of that early experience. Yeah, nice chill floor 1 music. Nothing too crazy yet. Trying to get the balance right. Yeah, nothing too hot in department store here. I usually like to see more, but a couple things. But we've definitely seen heftier department stores in past weeks. Ooh, a pair of dirty socks, nice. Nice. It's good dishes music for sure. Get that $6. Nice. Stream looks okay. Let me know if anything goes haywire, looks weird, but from my view at least everything looks decent. As I mentioned earlier, this is an elimination round, as you can see in the title as well. Winner goes against Aurelix, which is pretty tough opponent. So both these runners, even if you win this race, tough road ahead. But you know, that's the nature of the beast. Andy, of course, a former champ. Ori, a former champ. The only other champ left is Doc, and Doc's not doing it this year. Taking a little break, can't blame him. Putting Tyler down music. Looks good, nice. Ooh, burgers. Some more skip items. Runner's basically in the same spot, as you can see. No real clear advantage yet. That's a signed banana skip for Andy. Doesn't have it. Looks like the right path is gonna be the way to go. IQ goes right for it, nice. It looks like IQ's got the little animal pet squad going on with the Froge and Sneck and the mouse. Yeah, we need a YouTube channel for sure. Unfortunate, IQ was on the right track. You backtracked. Sometimes that happens. You're like, oh, there's that one pathway that I didn't go to before. Oh, clear skip for Andy. Nice. Okay. This is definitely a skip forward. There's no skips backwards on floors 1 or 2. So at minimum, this is floor 3. Max, it's floor 6. Unfortunately, we won't be able to tell. That track's a little loud. We'll take that one down a bit. It's kind of one of the advantages of having... Okay. IQ finds the same skip. One of the advantages of having non-diamond enemy NPCs is when you skip like this, it's easy to tell how far ahead you are by the enemies, but we can't tell. So checking gift boxes is another good way. It doesn't look like it's too far, judging from what Andy's seen. IQ just going for it. Let's check these enemies. Yeah, this is like floor 3 maximum. I'm not gonna update it yet, but I don't think this is anything beyond 4 tops. My best guess is 3. Looks like both runners, yeah, judging by splits, IQ agrees. Interesting that both runners opt to just go for it, kind of blindly. I guess it couldn't be that far. Like I said, floor 5 or 6 is as deep as you're looking, so you might as well just take the fight and see what you're dealing with. Chill vibe completely gone, yeah, true. Moonside, definitely one of those places. Ooh, Franklin badge, very nice. Moonside, definitely one of those places you like to see when you're skipping. Ooh, and Mole Cave, not bad. Okay, so it's kind of like 2 present hubs. But that's a huge pickup for Andy on that Franklin badge. Hope IQ also finds it. Franklin badge, obviously really good, but I feel like it's especially good in Ancient Cave. It's just one of those items that throughout the run and at Gygus, it just makes your life much easier. Especially for Gygus, but you know, you run into some crazy stuff. Having that Franklin badge is good. Alright, Andy taking out that high level NPC. That's going to be a good amount of levels. Another thing you look for when you're skipping is stuff like that, scripted enemies that won't scale. Oop, that big league bat for IQ, nice. So things like that, you know, what we just fought with Andy, the hieroglyph, the moles in the mole cave, sentry robots, things like that. If you can handle it, it's good to find early when you've skipped, because you gain a ton of levels like Andy just did. Which, obviously super helpful in the short term and the long term. Oh, there was freeze resistant? Yeah, that's rough. That's why he was lightninging. Interesting. IQ can't seem to quite find his way to Moonside. He's kind of ticking back and forth between floor 4 and 3. Yeah, it could be 4. Now that we've... Oh, they're actually in the same room. Nice. It's just Andy's seen more. Unless I missed something with IQ. Nice exit mouse for Andy. Always good to just mark. If you feel like you gotta mark, just mark as many times as you want. Looks like IQ's got a mental loose end. Yeah, okay, yeah, he... See if he pursues Moonside? Yeah, he will. Okay, which is the right call. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things, as you play more and more AC, it's you kind of... You keep track of those short-term loose ends, you know, doors you haven't checked, and, you know, room splits that you haven't quite explored, so... Good instincts there from IQ to backtrack on that door, because there's some good stuff here in Moonside. I don't remember exactly where that Franklin badge was, but it was in this loop somewhere. I want to say it was museum. Zip gun is also nice. Oh, Andy almost just skipped that present, just phasing through. Nice. It looks like the audience is decently split on IQ and Andy in terms of predictions. I feel like everyone I've seen so far has been pretty lopsided. This one's at least 2-1. IQ gaining some levels too. Getting there. I haven't seen who has Prey yet. Mr. Saturn Coin, nice. Saturn Coin. Pretty strong defensive item. Oh, that Sneck. Moonside Sneck. So definitely some pretty decent gear here, whatever floor we're on. The gear is solid, which is what we like to see. This is not the department store with doors. Probably still check the vendors though. Oh, Pua's Prey. Okay, we can probably check here. Yeah, you're right. Pooh's been getting it quite a bit lately. IQ having a tough time with this hieroglyph fight. Same idea as Andy though, he's looking to take this to gain some levels. Looks like Paula's gonna go down, sadly. This hieroglyph fight not going quite as smoothly for IQ as it did for Andy. Tess. Okay, at least he survived, and the prayer person survived, so that's important. We like Pooh getting those stats, that XP, the fat XP. Already got burgers. Let's see if, was this where the badge was? I don't remember. It was around here. IQ might have already even gotten it. It's a hard hat. He still hasn't gotten it. Maybe it was hospital. I cannot remember. Oh yeah, it was. Bang bang. Beautiful. Okay. So it's not like any runner has like a badge advantage, so to speak, over the other. They both have it, so... and it was good instincts of IQ to check that loose end. Paid off. Oh, Andy's got to backtrack through Dungeon Man anyway. So it looks like Mole Cave is the way forward, judging from what Andy's seen, which could work in IQ's favor if he finds the right vein here. Not a bad little room. Spectrum Beam. Not bad. Definitely some gear here. IQ probably won't see Dungeon Man. It had a Mr. Saturn coin. That's about all I saw. Looks like Andy's gonna backtrack into Mole Cave. What are these cultists? Huh. Certainly odd. Still no hitmen, no bosses, no way to tell us where we're at. Oh, Andy finding the big league bat room. Nice, nice. Carrot key. Oh, I didn't know that was in there. I missed that when IQ was in there, so that's good. Another skip item. Yeah, the run is valid. It's a valid, valid run with the chicken being freed. Oh, that's a lot of Antoids. Violent Formians. My mistake. Nothing too interesting. Grapefruit on. Andy gets ninja'd. Ooh, backstage pass. Nice. All kinds of skip items. This mark tactic in Mole Cave is pretty common. You kind of check these doors, and if... Oh, okay. Found the boss. You can kind of exit mouse back to the mice and just keep restocking if you need to. Alright, so we found the boss. I figured Mole Cave would be it. Only based on what we had seen on Andy's screen. The advantage of being an outside observer. Oh, nice little room. For IQ, all these little like 2 and 3 chest rooms. Almost prefer to see him on 9, but take him here. Great Charm's decent. Could you know, a little speed boost. Bottle rocket damage boost. Not the worst thing to get. Crystal Charm and Rabbit's Foot would be better, respectively, if we find those. Oh, human music would be great. As speak of the devil, there's our Rabbit's Foot. Okay. Commentator's Blessing for a change. Ooh, another skip. Best believe Andy's taking this. Don't even really need to exit mouse here, you can just buy more show tickets. Do that anyway. Okay, so we're on a different floor entirely. Chances are pretty good this is forward again. Oh, we got Summer's Girls. Beautiful, beautiful. Probably since that was like floor 3 or 4. The likelihood of this being 2 is pretty slim. Yeah, this is like 6 or so. So IQ kind of at a weird disposition here. He knows what the boss is, but he hasn't hit this skip that Andy found, which is definitely forward. And since IQ knows what the boss is, I assume he just goes for it. But still anyone's game. I mean, IQ could find a skip to floor 9 immediately. Unfortunate that Paul is down. Yeah, looks like he'll go right for the boss here. Same floor 3. Yep. We still haven't seen a boss list on either side, so a mystery, unless I missed it. Floor 4, not a terrible place to be, in my opinion, as a runner. That's when items start getting pretty good. Those floor 3 items are not terrible, but floor 4 is when things start getting pretty spicy in terms of items. You know, item shops can get pretty good. This one decent. And this part of the cave is kind of rife for skips into 8 or 9. Or at least, you know, forward. What you don't want to happen here... Oh, we do have a carrot key. What you don't want to happen around this area is you kind of just get stuck in hubs. That's not where you want to be. Back to question mark status. Kind of, again, commentator's blessing. Like I said, the second IQ got on floor 4, found himself a skip. Predictions are ending. Oh, nice green there from IQ. One shots it. Yeah, he's backwards. Easy tell. Present on the first floor of Dungeon Man. You have to fall through. Trying to think exactly where you're... First floor of Dungeon Man. I don't think I've ever seen it. I'm trying to think if I'm thinking of the right room. Uh-oh, double mooks. Scary. Rabbit's foot coming through. Oh, okay, sorry, yeah, I was thinking of the, a different spot. Yeah, so the upper part of this, basically, where Andy is to the left, is what you're talking about? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that one is not in there, because I don't think there's a way out. Pretty much any of the fall-throughs. I think are locked for that reason. I think early versions of Ancient Cave, I'm talking like before Chaz got his hands on it, I think those holes were skips or something. It was really kind of weird. Right, yeah, you can only cliff skip into it. It was definitely kind of wonky. The first, you know, iterations of Ancient Cave. It was like you could take buses and stuff. But, yeah, Chaz took a lot of that stuff out. I don't think I've ever been in Deep Darkness. Oh, that skip is backwards for IQ, we know that. Yeah, he's found one of the biggest hubs in Ancient Cave on it, the other one being Tucson. So lots going on here. He must be back on 4, I should change that. Because he bailed on that skip, unless he skipped again and I didn't see it. Summer's Girls is great. Picnic lunch? I don't think we saw one of those. Could happen though. There's a lot going on it. Ooh, yeah, tough fight for Andy. Not too bad. It looked worse than it was. I think Andy's definitely in a tough spot. This Lumine room is awful in Ancient Cave. The spawns are insane. Fly honey. Looks like he's got no way to cure that poison. That's eventually gonna do something. Yeah, this room is brutal with spawns. Oh, no luck there. Oh, Violet Serum. Look at that. That's what we call luck. Ooh, and Horns of Life? Decent. So this is a great shop. Oh, I missed the hint man. Dang. Unfortunate. Anyone in chat who happened to catch that, definitely give us the update. I was zoned in on Andy's super lucky shop. Nightmare on 6, Spectre on 8. Thank you, Thomas. So we do have a nightmare, and our floor 8 boss is not Doggo, so some bad news and good news, I would say. Neat, night pendant, nice. Definitely some stuff. What towel? I do believe. No, we don't. Okay, never mind. I thought we had saw one earlier. Seen one? I don't know how to English. The moose. The moose room. Dang. Andy in some tough spots here. $0. Nice. Yeah, it seems like something Chaz would be on top of. Oh, no monies for res. Andy getting into a lot of fights. Luckily that rabbit's foot coming through. Making use of that yogurt. Nice room for IQ. A little full heal. He definitely needs it. Couple gift boxes. I think Andy with the right strat here with a rabbit's foot, you just put it on your one alive kid and just try to run from everything. That sound banana for IQ, unfortunately, of no use. Yeah, right, doesn't heal poo. Ooh, 2 Franklin badges. Okay. It's pretty rare. You don't see that too often. That's a PogChamp moment for sure. Yeah, that's huge. So there is a badge advantage I was talking about earlier. I assume Andy won't ever get that. It's on a floor he's behind, or it's a floor that's behind him, and in like the depths of on it. I imagine you skip into an area like this and just immediately bounce from where he's at. That's a tough red. Yeah, you could technically get 3 badges. I think another one can spawn on a later floor. Like a total of 2 can spawn in chests, and then you get the 1 that we just saw. But having 2 is crazy good. Ooh, skip sandwich, nice. We definitely have one of those. I know IQ's thinking, please no backwards, please no backwards. This other skip is... Oh, that was a picnic lunch, okay. So same room on the same floor. Belch's base. Looks like he's heard that music. Judging from that back out. That's unfortunate. Again, not an ideal position to be in. If you're IQ, you're just kind of on floor 4, like hitting skips, but they're all backwards. You're in a huge hub. But he does have 2 Franklin badges, so... Ay. Yeah, that's tough. Lots of reds. 1 chance. Dang. That was bound to happen for Andy. What the shape his party was in. Yeah, I think both runners are kind of probably frustrated with their current positions. But you figure it out. That's kind of the part of Ancient Cave, is you gotta push through these tough times. Lots of deaths. Life lessons in the Ancient Caves. Does Andy's got a pencil eraser? Interesting. Unless this is the wrong area. Okay, so he's still on the same floor. Must have it if he's going for this. Nice. Meme it up, meme it up. Andy was probably hoping for the greens there. Mook? Hard to say. Don't really know. Gotta assume it's backwards, right? Ooh, Dragonite. Okay, never mind. Never mind, never mind. Playing with fire. Ooh, Hall of Fame bat for IQ. Nice. Oh, jeez. Oh, this is... Oh, and immediately diamondized. That looks pretty deep, to be honest. My first impression was way off. It could be 9. Starmen don't spawn in too many other places. Doing a little stat check. You see that pretty often in Ancient Cave. Sometimes you just gotta do a stat check. Long room for IQ. Nice movement from Andy with those diamonds. He knows if it's if that diamond's pushed up against that tree, he can kind of move somewhat freely around it. It's not really gonna swing too much. It's a vibe check, yeah, pretty much. It's the AC vibe check. How we doing? How's it feeling? Okay, the Formians are not skip level, so I guess that's one of the tough parts of PRV. There can be a lot of crossover. All these diamonds are just everywhere. I'm looking forward to having to run these flags tomorrow. Oh, joy. I thought no Paula was a pain. There's some good vibes. There's some good vibes in chat. You can just tell that both runners, you can just tell just by their play style that they're both just so over the diamonds. Just yeah, we have a full party in rolling HP. We got to look at the silver lining for sure. Strange green, but we'll take it. Looks like Andy's pretty confident that this is a deep skip. Oh yeah, oh yeah. We on 9 for sure. Where's my hotkeys? Alright, so Andy once again, the floor 9 hunter. He just sniffs out floor 9 every time. Yeah, so we do Ancient Cave has kind of a lot of special, they call them Z flags, challenge flags. You can remove party members, there's kind of a lot of different things. Instant HP roll downs. We change it up every week. Just to keep it fresh. Yeah, so it's all diamonds, and yeah, it's just a challenge mode basically. It's super tough because one of the advantages in Ancient Cave with being able to see enemy NPCs is when you do skips, like we've been seeing a lot of in this run. It's an easy tell. Like you can just see what enemies are, and you know where you are, so that makes it tougher, which is kind of unique to Ancient Cave. But yeah, just their movement. They're generally pretty tough to dodge. Getting crazy greens. We're trying to use some of these tactics for sure. I know Thomas is watching too. taking notes on some of these Andy greens. But yeah, the diamonds are just really tough to deal with in general. And he just keeps getting the insta diamonds. Yeah, it's rough because, I mean, even in vanilla, PRV is just spawn central, and Ancient Cave spawns are kind of juiced up anyway with the spawn rates. But PRV doesn't even need that. Ooh, boss time for IQ, nice. Oh, Andy had an exit mouse that time, beautiful. He really wants this item. This floor 9 loot is just too juicy. Soaking up diamonds, yeah. Honestly, I think that's the strat in this flag set. It kind of is pretty much what Andy. I mean, both runners are doing it, but Andy especially with the rabbits footage, just like, yep, give me the fight, run, give me the fight, run. Magic tart, nice, definitely useful. So yeah, it seems like rabbit's foot is like really good for this mode, which Andy found. It gives you that advantage to just not have to despawn for a million years. And you can lose just so much time despawning in Ancient Cave. Chaz definitely doesn't want you despawning. Oh, both runners playing on an SD to SNES. The characteristic screen flashes. Ooh, Crystal Charm, nice. It's no rabbit's foot, but it's pretty close. I didn't see, did IQ kill that boss? Did it happen that quickly? It must have. He did, okay. So we are on floor 5. What? I'm missing so much. Andy does have a Hitman there in Summers. So you can tell where he is. Two Basherino, easy. Nice. Unfortunately, Happy Shop. Nothing too fancy. Can't even really get an item to cheese and sell and get infinite money, essentially. It's a rough red. Oh, Andy getting baited by Moonside antics. Yeah. Who cures the diamond eyes? This is good Moonside. This is good Moonside stuff. He skipped through PRV from what looked like about 5 or 6. We never confirmed the floor he was on before this, but it was definitely further ahead than where IQ is. Super plush. Jeez. Those spawns. Yeah, just try to green as best you can. Good lord. Yeah, he pencil erasered. So anyone who's watching and too afraid to ask how the skips work and how Andy skipped through a pencil eraser, in Ancient Cave, basically any time you force any NPC to either move or disappear, like a pencil, or you know the monkeys in the monkey cave, if you force anything to move, you're skipping floors. So that's how Andy skipped ahead, was he used the pencil eraser in PRV. Nice pink pool. We were seeing Starman earlier, which is the only reason I think it's 9. It could technically be 8. But we were seeing Sea Pendants and Starmen, which was the only reason. But yeah, it could technically be 8. Oh, right, yeah, because we got Summer's Girls for so long in PRV. Oh, and he got a Star Pendant, nice. Picked that up somewhere along the way. So he's got C and Star. So he found what he's looking for on floor 9. For the most part, he's got to find Gygus and a save. Unless he doesn't need a save. Yeah, the loot in general in this seed has been pretty solid throughout, even on early floors. Lots of Franklin badges. Good offense items, good defense items. Rabbit's foot early. Like, just all around pretty decent item pool behind Doggo. No, but I don't think that will stop him. I think if Andy... If he finds Gygus fairly soon, I imagine he'll just go for it. Another Star Pendant, my goodness. So assuming IQ eventually gets to 9, he could have like several pendants and 2 Franklin badges, like just unkillable. Ooh, nice throne room. But again, IQ kind of stuck in the AC kind of wormhole. Ooh, and Rain Pendant isn't bad. Where you're just kind of mid-cave and you're not really making a ton of progress. Your skips are just not in your favor. This is kind of not really where you want to be at this point in the run. At this point in brackets, you kind of want to be pretty zooming. Especially on a no doggo seed like this. We do have a Nightmare to contend with. But ideally you're looking to do what Andy's done and just find those right skips. Double badges, lots of... Ooh, and a heavy bazooka. Even better. Yeah, sometimes you just get those awful early floors, and it can be pretty rough, but you just make it far enough in the cave, find the goods. Alright, there we go. Okay, so we'll test my theory. Oh, Andy's back to his O's. Yeah, if I know Andy, he'll either just go for this now, or he's gonna look for a save. It's hard to say. Okay, yeah, I mean, obviously he's looking for the save now. He's moving backwards. Oh, we have a save right here. Duh. So yeah, I assume he'll just go for this. And if it turns out that Pokey or Gygus is freeze resistant, then he'll probably turn to other tactics, but I assume he goes for this. Maybe he wants to explore a little more. Yeah, save and full heal right there. Yeah, I just completely missed that. I'm a great commentator. I notice and remember things clearly. Yeah, so it looks like he wants to gain some levels. He's mostly just looking for Starmen here. Anything else is kind of a bit much. Getting star partied. Well, things are actually just running from IQ. That's pretty nice. Yeah, Andy said no thanks. Star party, no thank you, goodbye. Oh, Ronnie Benton. Oh, it was freeze resistant? Yeah. Well, yeah, that's an insta reset. I can see why he Snap that one off. Interesting. Okay, I was about to say we did find burgers. I wasn't sure if IQ had found them, but I know Andy did. So IQ back in question mark zone, and he's got Tucson. Oh man, IQ has just found all the hubs. He's seen On It and Tucson. Ooh, a dice. Looks that signals 8 to me. Potential for 9, but yeah, looks like IQ thinks it's 8 as well. The Big League Chicken. Please make it an item, devs. Give me that Big League Chicken. Diamonds be getting the reds. Oh, the failed call for help. Nice. Oop. Oop. Terrifying. IQ in a bit of a pickle. Ooh, nice. Taking him down. Very nice. Luckily the bombs were not freeze resistant. Yeesh. I wonder if Paula knows Shield Sigma yet. That might be why Andy's grinding, or he just wants more levels. That was pretty clutch of IQ to get away from that fight. That was pretty tough. A dice with 2 bomb throwing dudes. I don't forget the name of them, but that's pretty scary. Demonic petunias. Yeah, this is definitely 8. Carefree bombs. Thank you, Les. My boomer brain. Andy not liking what he's seeing. Interesting. Oh, jeez. Yeah, he's just gonna go for it. It looked like he wanted to maybe see if he could get some more items or maybe some levels, but I guess it's not really worth it. We'll just go for Gygus. Test the waters. We got plenty of pendants. Got that Franco badge. Yeah, exactly. They just whip bombs, which is essentially an AoE. These guys are everywhere. Alright. Gygus time. Let's see what we got. So can Andy sub hour? It looks like he just wants intel. Interesting. Okay, so not fully. Paralysis 10. It's no good. 0 hypno. 99 brain shock. Pretty gross. Yeah, he's just getting info. Pretty smart move. Was that 39% freeze resistance? So not great. I don't think that's no damage, but it's not much. That was a pretty smart move by Andy. Go up against Pokies, see what he's working with, so he's not going in blind. You know, trying to level things trying to level to a point he doesn't need to. Yeah, people do it sometimes. Just go in and spy. Especially when you have a nice save nearby. That's definitely a solid move. Pretty smart, to be honest. You definitely don't see it too often, but people do it. Yeah, nothing in Tucson, sadly, or Bergen Park. Yeah, IQ catching all the huge hubs. Andy didn't see any of these. He didn't see On It. He didn't see Tucson. Yeah, I mean, when it's right there. I can't remember if this village is just open. I rarely come up here. Yeah, it is. Okay. I was curious. Probably not a bad little check. This guy usually has some decent stuff. Nothing. Charm coins are okay, but yeah, that was pretty gross. Maybe score a heavy bazooka. That's probably what Andy's hoping for here. Which again, probably part of his plan of checking Pokey. Like, do I want to check this whole room? Do I want to like dedicate the time? Or do I want to just go fight? And it looks like dedicating the time to this room is worth it to him to maybe find a bazooka or heavy bazooka, or anything, an MBR, a bracer of kings. Not super helpful. Looks like IQ seems to think he's on 7. I don't know what happened to make him think that. Dang, that's a lot of stuff. That's a spicy meatball. One last gift box. Yeah, it'd be nice to have quick terrain. But it'll probably never happen. Oh, IQ's gonna find out what floor he's on. It was 8. Okay. So decent progress. I mean, I think it was Spectre on or 8. Sorry. That playground background is awesome. I love it. A little bit laggy. Kind of a lot going on. Huh. Everyone's feeling strange. Was he trying to get lightning to reflect? Oh yeah. I like that play. Eat up a bunch of turns, run away. Another pendant. Andy kind of big eye roll there. What do I need another pendant for? He was really hoping for a heavy bazooka, I assume. It's really all you can get at this point. Yeah, Andy going into the think tank. He's thinking, what do I do here? How do I get past phase 1? And it's definitely tough. I take the death warp. You've seen all the items. Yeet the pendant at Gygus. It might work. You never know. We never tried it. Oh man, I love that sprite. The frog on the ladder. It gets a little balloon. That's amazing. I didn't notice that before. Some of these sprites are great. I mean, they're all great, but the attention to detail on some of them was real nice. Honestly, that's a dope costume. If I saw that, I would be so hyped. Get all the candy. Pink pool. IQ still dealing with Tucson. Ooh, nice full heal. Every floor's got one. Always nice to find. He's seen a lot of floor 8, so I assume he sniffs out Spectre pretty soon. Despite Tucson, hopefully. Be nice, Tucson. Some more gift box opportunities here for Andy. Not bad, not bad. So, if IQ can zoom this floor and make some steady progress on 9, he could catch up here. IQ is not out of the woods. Or not, you know, not out of the race yet. Still clearly in the woods of Tucson. If he sniffs out the boss here, makes some progress, you know, Andy's still doing some exploring of his own. I guess that wasn't the room I thought it was. Moonbeam gun, nice. Jeff got some offense. That could even do a little damage on Pokey, to be honest. Considering what we've seen in terms of items, you take anything you can get. And Moonbeam gun is pretty strong. Yeah, that floor 8 loot cannot be underestimated. You get some good stuff. A lot of people want that floor 9 loot, but floor 8 loot's pretty good too. Andy's not scared of no diamonds. It's a great room to find. A room you love to see on floor 9. Nothing really good in there. I wonder if he set his mouse way back when, or if he just remembers the way. It's not that far, I guess. Okay, we did see the other side of Summers earlier. So that's technically our floor 9 hub, I guess. We've already seen on it in Tucson. So at least we're not guessing anymore. We know Andy's on 9, we know IQ's on 8 for sure. Both have been confirmed at least. No mystery in that regard. Oh, we never got one back from PRV. Yep, you're right. He used that one up. So he'll just have to walk it out either way. It's not too far. But he's trying. He's got to find some, you know, maybe a BBR vendor. Dare I say MBR vendor? That would be huge. Heavy bazooka. Any kind of super bombs. IQ knows where he's at. He knows what he's up against. Doesn't need no hint man. There's a couple vendors. Eh. Nope, nothing good. Unfortunate. Take the levels, why not? Yeah. Not useful in this one. Ooh, nice moves there from IQ. Using Stonehenge pathways to his advantage. That's what's kind of nice in some of those tight spots. Sometimes you can work around those diamonds. Andy's seen enough, I guess. Earth pendant something. Unfortunately, what IQ doesn't know is that there's a plethora of pendants on 9. But we'll take those earth pendants. They're still good. Will Andy find what he seeks? Will IQ find the damn floor 8 boss? I feel like he's got to be closing in on it. We've seen damn near all of floor 8. Seems like Andy just kind of had on a whim change of heart there. Maybe it wasn't on a whim. He has his reasons. I just realized IQ's. You can't see it on stream, but on his stream, he's just got a text caption that just says, "Don't watch all struggles." I feel that deep within my existence when it comes to running all diamond ancient cave. This pink pool has become our second home. Ooh, sea pendant, jeez. Yeah, sometimes the ghost just hangs out for a second. No more spooky ghosts. Big money. Looks like Andy's ready to take on Gygas again. Wonder if he got something I just missed. Or if he's just like, forget this treasure hunt. Ooh, there's a decent vendor in here for IQ. Bottle rockets of any variety would be pretty crucial. What you got? Oh, hello. True, there's a lot of those trees. Oh, that is huge for IQ. Especially considering the pokey potentially dealing with here. He's still looking at Spectre too. I forgot. He's not on 9. So this is gonna make Spectre pretty much trivial. If he found that rabbit's foot that Andy found, it would just be complete GG's. But even still, he's still got a crystal charm, which is still really solid. Now he's just got to find Spectre. Alright, let's try Gygas again. Skips on 8 are no good. Okay, there we go. Nice. Figured he was closing in eventually. We've been on 8 forever. Goddess ribbon, nice. Thing's pretty beefy. Okay. Steady as she goes. 10% paralysis. It's always a tough decision. What do you have Pooh do? Alright, rockin' Alpha. One in 10 chance. That's what Pokey's good for. So Free's doing some damage. Not nothing. Brain shocking Pokey is pretty mid. It can potentially be a turn eater for him, but it's typically not what you're going for. Oh, down Ness, unfortunate. Got the heal off, nice. The beauties of rolling HP. Just picking on Paula. Okay, nice. IQ on 9. Those MBRs. Fight was so fast I missed it completely. So assuming IQ has any of those MBRs left over, it could be pretty big for him. Again, considering this Gygas fight, not so hot. IQ closer to Gygas than obviously he knows. Yeah, it was a rough fight. And you're probably thinking, what can I do other than just get lucky? Yeah, this phase 1 is definitely tricky. Mostly because we don't have damage output. Turns out it is pretty important the way this is set up to have some kind of damage output for Pokey. I guess you just kind of bang your head against it and just hope for a paralysis. Yeah, this is what IQ needs to catch up. He is not too far off from Geeg. Come on, paralysis. Nope. It's kind of funny because the way the seat is set up, I mean, you know, you kind of look at it on paper from an outsider's perspective and like, it's not that bad. Like, boss list is pretty straightforward, ton of good items, but it's just not really working out with this phase 1. 446. Assuming IQ has any MBRs left, I don't think it will be as bad for him. I have not seen the inventory recently. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of used to taking one shot hits from Pokey. You know, whether he's doing 350 or 500 plus, or even 300 most of the time, 250 even. That's usually an ancient cave that's one-shotting whoever it's hitting anyway. But yeah, that 500 is definitely really big. Like bigger than usual. Looks like we're going the old brute force method of getting through phase 1. At least our prayer person, which is Pooh, got some decent HP rolls. Getting solidifies on the wrong turns, not where you want them. Alright, IQ's honing in on this, oh, I didn't see, dang. Honing in on this Gygus room. Trying to see Jeff's inventory. Oh, he does have one left. Nice. That could be the difference. Yeah, brain shocking Gygus. Marginally, even pretty much a lot better than brain shocking Pokey. I guess you could brain shock Omega if you know it, but I don't think Andy does. Just go for everyone. But yeah, I like brain shock on Gygus. take anything you can get at this point. Any edge, any seam that you can get through. That's terrible, because Underworld is like, you hate seeing this room, especially late. And it's the only way to Gygus. At least there's trees. At least there's trees. Yeah, it's Omega slow. Yeah, I can see Brain Shock and Gygus, for sure. Really hoping for that 1 in 10. Ayy. Ayy. Hope and get. Alright, so you can kind of see Andy's being a little more... He's taking this a little more decisively. Ooh, and IQ just going for it. Nice. I like it. I appreciate the move. There we go. Like I said, if IQ could get here, this could be super close. Yeah, this got pretty interesting pretty quick here. I mean, it's been a good race all around, but man, IQ has just blasted on back here. This is pretty good. Alright, this MBR. It's got the crystal charm. What are we hitting for? Yeah, you set the mouse. Yeah. 450, not quite what we're looking for. But still, pretty good. I mean, it's like a quarter of Pokey's health. Look at this. Andy, like, just barely ahead. It's not even by too much. IQ doesn't know this 10%. I don't think he's spied, so he's just gonna keep going for it, which is really all you can hope for. Hope it's not lower than 10%. This is definitely a race. Down to the wire. I didn't see if that stuck. The text was too quick. Looks like maybe? Yeah, this is crazy. Considering when Andy was on floor 9, IQ was trying to get through floor 7. Well, he's come from 2 floors behind to basically tie this up. Yeah, it really did. I kind of had a feeling when I saw IQ kind of honing in on the underworld room. It's like if he just gets the straight line, and he found his pendants, so that's all he really needs. No way. It really is. Level 9 is always the equalizer. Wow. IQ pulls ahead after like 40 minutes, probably more. This is crazed. And this is an elimination match. I mean, to knock out Andy is kind of nuts. Oh, maybe just commentator cursed. IQ probably thinking, how the heck am I still in this? Like, you figure Andy finished 20 minutes ago. In most situations. But just did not have the phase 1's damage output. Turned out it was a huge factor. Oh, that's of course, yeah, thinking Z1 makes sense. Oh, he's got a Dragonite? He must be, I mean, yeah, he saved it for phase 2. Can't really afford to use it on phase 1. Yeah, exactly. I agree, holding it for phase 2 just to make it quicker. And the AoE on phase 1 is just not ideal, considering the shields and stuff. Just try to hope for a quick phase 2, but this phase 1 is just, okay, I was about to say, just dragging on. Okay. Both in phase 2. Andy, I'm sure relieved to be through phase 1. He's looking, checking his other monitor, checking that race room. All right, keep on to phase 3. And yeah, I mean, there's no way Pokey dies. You don't even have to brain shock. Yeah, this swing was insane. Yeah, with your prayer person with a strong pendant, aka Seer Star, and a Franklin badge, it's GG's on phase 3. You'd have to get hit by so many damage dealing flash attacks. What you thinking about, IQ? Maybe he must be looking for a maybe a psychic point replenisher. Dang, this gotta be one of the biggest comebacks in Ancient Cave history. I don't think I've ever seen a comeback this huge. He must have. Yeah, I didn't notice. I've been paying too much attention to IQ. I assume he has, though, yeah, unless he didn't and forgot about it or something. Ness is only damage dealer. With no pendant. That's... hoping for those reflects. Not really ideal. Phase 2 prey strats, I was about to say. You see it a lot. Dang, those lightning's hitting the wrong kids. Yeah, this is pretty common in AC. You just last ditch pray it out. Maybe get some psychic points, maybe res some kids. But yeah, this is really killing Andy. Oh, nice. Lightning reflects work too. Many double borgers. Oh, he's got a horn. Nice. Bring all Ness back. Get those rockins going. Alright, IQ. One prayer away to knocking out a returning champion. And probably one of the most feared Ancient Cave runners in AndyPerfect. Craziness. I mean, this seed was nuts. IQ probably thinking, how is Andy not finished? Boom, 123.05. Huge W for IQ. Knocking out Andy, no small task. Holy crap. Craziness. I mean, yeah, IQ, you so close, man. You came back. Biggest comeback ever. I don't think I've ever seen a comeback that big in all the years I've done Ancient Cave. Yeah, definitely one to worth watching back. Whew. And I mean, the MBR was all. That's got to be the main difference, right? That was really the only factor. The maze, yeah, I was saying you were just like swimming around, and you just got out of it, man. It's insane. So how long ago, IQ, were you thinking? How is Andy not finished yet? I assume somewhere around the hour mark. You're kind of like looking at the race the race room every 40 seconds. When I found 8, yeah. Makes sense. I mean, you were like, that's the thing. You weren't wrong. You were really far behind, and just I kind of said at the time, once you hit 8, I was like, man, if IQ can just like find the line and find Gygas, the comeback is definitely possible. And sure enough. And you saw a ton of 8. Like, it's not like you just zoomed through 8. Like, you saw so much of it. Probably 90% of the rooms. 126. Oh, that's pretty big. Yeah. Yeah, finding those BBRs and MBRs in Scaraba was massive. 699.9. Very nice. Calculated. On to phase 3. Oh, I need to do predictions. Congrats to the IQ believers. Nice, CC. Yeah, definitely this one's worth watching again for sure. Not the nicest seed, despite the bosses not being terrible. No one fought Nightmare, which was the only scary boss. Andy just skipped straight to 9 in Andy fashion. And floor 8 was Spectre, which was, for IQ at least, pretty negligible with the MBRs. Never found the Rabbit's Foot, but did find 2 Franklin badges. The double Franco is pretty rare. Oh, nice, Leslie. Looks like Leslie cashed in pretty good on that one. Nice bet, nice bet. Yeah, big congrats to IQ. That is huge. One more. Keep it sub 130. Yes, yes. Oh, the solidifies, of course. But, yep, sub 130. GG's. GG, nice run. Excellent, excellent race. That was... Oops. Hit my hotkey. Yeah, craziness. Once IQ hit Geiger's door, it was like, okay, okay, like this could happen. And then I mean, once IQ got through to phase two, before Andy, that was a pretty pog moment, as the youngins say. Yeah, this is definitely one for the archives. This is a good one. Crazy, crazy comeback. Um, see if we got any race comments. Yeah, it looks like Andy disappointed in his Geiger's preparation. Yeah, Andy never fought any bosses. Once again, just zoomed right to 9. What? Oh, nice. That's some beautiful credits music. Yeah, looks like Andy kind of frustrated with his run. Ring, ring. Yeah, I don't blame him. That was tough. But yeah, GG's. At the end of the day, these are just races, all for fun. Well done to the racers. Congrats to IQ. Moves on into the brackets. IQ is going to take on Aurelix. Another tough contender. No easy road ahead for IQ, but hey, gotta feel confident coming out of this one. Yep, yeah, another former champ coming up in the next race for IQ. So, and I'm sure we'll see Andy again next year. It was well played by Andy. Another good tournament. Yeah, IQ versus Ori is gonna be a good one for sure. IQ got to be feeling pretty confident after this one. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We're tentatively on for 10:30 p.m. Eastern. It'll be a race between Thomas and myself. Some weird guy named myself. That'll be tomorrow night around the same time as this race, hopefully. If we don't find a restreamer, we might do it early in the day, but I assume we'll be on for 10:30. So that'll be tomorrow. Be sure to follow the channel and tune in. That is what's mostly coming up. I don't think we have too much scheduled restream, but we are trying to hit these as much as possible. But yeah, more races coming up. Lots of action. Yes, you did notice those cultists. Yeah, that was pretty weird. That was the only time I had seen those. Yeah, we're gonna raid. What's is there a number here? Yes, we are hosting Eagles, doing some PK scramble. Fly Eagles fly. Let me make sure I got it right. Yes, okay. We're gonna raid Eagles, doing some PK scramble. Another one of our wonderful randomizers. Enjoy. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the race. Thanks for hanging, watching. Hopefully we tune in tomorrow. See y'all then. Have a great night. Enjoy the scramble.